Okay, welcome back to Hanger 51. Today we're going to do the unboxing of the Hobbyking C-130. This is the Coast Guard scheme. I already have the cargo scheme, and I did an unboxing on that about a year ago. So this is the Coast Guard scheme. You know, Hobbyking had it on sale, and I really like the Coast Guard scheme. I got a couple of buddies that, you know, did their 20, actually way more than 20, in the Coast Guard. And when I bring a Coast Guard plane out to the field, they just love it. So the one guy's not a pilot, you know, but he still, whenever I'm going to fly a Coast Guard plane, he'll come out and watch. And the other guy is a pilot and graduated Coast Guard, so or retired Coast Guard. So yeah. So anyway, so I'm really big into the Coast Guard thing. So this is a brand new, still sealed box. Yeah, let me cut the shipping label out of it here, get that out. And guys, even if you're not a YouTuber, you got a camera in your phone, whatever. Listen, just record your unboxings and your builds for your personal use. Because if there's a problem with the airplane when you take it out of the box, you've got proof. Okay, that's why I do these unboxings. You know, because if I have a problem, I can send, you know, Hobbyking, whoever, the video and say, listen, it came out of the box this way. I didn't fly it. You know, this is the way it came out of the box. It was damaged. You know, please take care of it. And they always do. If you've got video evidence, everybody, pretty much, if you've got video evidence, they're going to take care of it. Nobody argues with if you've got video of a flight where the plane crashed and it was obvious it wasn't a pilot error, you know, it just you know, something fell off or whatever. They're going to take care of it because they really can't deny, you know, that their airplane they sold you failed if you've got it on video. So I highly recommend it. You don't have to publish it, just for your own records, you know, and that way, you know, if it's something should, like just right now, when I open this up, if there's any part of this plane that's damaged beyond what I would consider reasonable, then I file a claim and I send them a copy of the video, and they, you know, they take the video and look at it, and then they take care of it. You know, I had that Yak 11 I bought from Hobbyking was terrible. It had all kinds of damage. The paintwork was horrible, everything. And I showed all that on the video, and I filed a claim, and they said, no problem, send it back, we're going to send you another. So it's just good insurance to just videotape it. You know, you don't have to, if you unbox it and everything's perfect, then you just delete the video. No big deal. You know, you don't have to do any more. Just delete the video, and it won't take up this space on your camera or on your disk drive on your computer or your phone or whatever. So that's just my advice, guys. Anytime you do an unboxing, just video. Then make sure you don't, you know, if you have a problem, you got evidence. All right, so let me. All right, so it's taped shut. Got the foam crate, and the tapes are here. So let me cut these tapes. But this one taped a little too tight. Okay. All right, so there's the cargo one on the bottom. I already have that one. This is the one we're doing now. It's the top one, the Coast Guard. So, all right. So let me pull the box open here. And that, you know, another thing too, guys, is the you know, if you have even a shipping warranty, you know, same thing. UPS is going to, UPS, FedEx, they're going to see the video too. So, you know, it's just good idea. It just protects you. It doesn't have to be professional quality. Don't worry about what you sound like, look like, doesn't matter. You know, all they care about is seeing the airplane and that it came to you damaged. That's all they need to see. They don't care how good you are, if you're a spokesperson or whatever. It don't matter. Not important. Okay, so you can see the top of the wing here, United States Coast Guard right here. And the propellers are right here, 4 propellers right there. A bunch of tape, more tape. So let me pull all these tapes. So I like to get the tape off of everything. I can't tell you how many times I've left tape on a box, and then it got snagged on a piece of an airplane, and then when I pulled the tape off of it, it took the paint with it. You know, it just really aggravated. So I always cut the tapes all the way. Get them off the box, get them off the parts, you know, the back, everything, and I throw them. Just get the tape off and throw it away, so it doesn't bite me later. Because there's nothing more aggravating than get a brand new airplane out of the box, and the tape got caught on something, and the next thing you know, you took the paint off the damn airplane and ruins your day. So I just take the extra second and make sure I pull the tape off of everything. So it's not ever going to be in the way. It's not going to get in the way of anything. It's not going to bite me in the butt. Just take it, get it off. And now there's a little bit of tape residue on the wing spar right here. I'll get that off later. That's not going to be a problem. Okay, so here are some more tape over here. Let me get this. You know, everybody does such a good job these days, you know, putting the stuff in the box that we rarely have an issue with damaged airplanes coming out of the box. It happens, but it's rare. Usually if it happens, somebody damaged it putting it in the box. It didn't get damaged in shipping. The crate didn't get damaged normally. Whoever put the plane in the box damaged it either before they put it in the box or as they were putting it in the box, and they don't care. And I've run into that a couple times. So, all right, so these are counter-rotating props. So we have these are 2 counterclockwise and these are 2 clockwise. So we got 4 props. Props look great. I don't see any issues with these. You know, the decals, got great decals on them, guys. They got the white and orange tips, you know, similar to the T-28. And, you know, the spinner's built into it. The backing plates here with the screw. So, yep, screw, backing plate, same here, screw, backing plate, and screw, yep. And the props all look good. They got the little decals on them. They all look like they're evenly spaced. They've got all the little. I like the detail, guys. It's not a must, but it's a perk, and I like it. You know, it's got the prop size. You know, in real life scale, all the prop numbers are right on the hub here, and it's very tiny print, but it's there on every blade. So that's really cool. And then it says here, I don't know, it's got some kind of other decal here in the middle of the blade, but just added scale effect. Just really adds, you know, if you guys that have Draco and then broke your prop and had to replace it, you know what I'm talking about, because the prop comes with some decaling on it that you can't replace. So you really don't want to break your original prop if you can help it. So okay, so we got propellers, and we'll take these and set them over here for a minute because this plane's way too big. I'm gonna run around. So we got a wing here. I believe this is the right wing. Yep, this is the right wing. And we're going to unbag it here. Okay. Now you see something I'm not super crazy about, but we'll see if that's a problem or a perk. Okay, so there's something extra in the bag here. I don't know what this is. Little camouflage. That probably doesn't go on this airplane. I don't know what this is. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's the plug. Okay, so there's a... I guess this plane has ordnance or something, that like a extended fuel cell. There's magnets here to hold it in. And they've got this plug here that goes in there, but it doesn't have a magnet on it. So it's just going to fall out if you don't tape it in or glue it in. And then there's another piece there that's missing. So let me... Now the cargo plane didn't have that, so that's definitely something unique to the. And that little piece in the front's missing. Now I don't know if it's supposed to be there or not. We'll check and see the other wing, but this could be my first issue, guys. Is the little plug that goes in front of the. Because the other plug's here on the star, okay, that I just put back in. But there's a magnet right here, and that plug's missing. So we'll see if that's a problem or not. So look at it. All the control surfaces look good. Hinges look good. Decals look pretty good. Everything looks good here. The other thing, there's orange stripes on this nacelle right here, but they're not on the other one. So... no. Is that normal, or did somebody forget to put the decals on? We'll find out. But that's just what I'm noticing right off the bat. I don't see any damage here. Everything looks good. It's got got a nav light on the end here, and I think there's a landing light here. Yeah, right here in front of between these two nacelles. So we've got lights, flaps. These are split flaps, by the way, and they're double section flaps. So you've got, and that's interesting. Okay, so I don't know how that's supposed to work. There's a servo here for a flap control, but there's no horn and no place to put a horn on this particular piece of flap right here. So I don't know how they expect you to do that. There's no way to control. So we'll have to wait and see how that happens. I don't know what's going on there. Now these two flaps are generally hooked together, but they're not in this kit for some reason. So there is a servo here for this flap. And like I said, it's a split flap. So the top of the wing is still here, but the flap drops out from under it. Okay? And then there's a carbon fiber rod right through here. And, a little piece of carbon fiber running to make sure the flap doesn't get warped. So that's awesome. Love that. There's no carbon fiber on the aileron, which that's kind of odd. But yeah, doesn't even look like there's one embedded in it. But and this flap is not dropping down, so I don't know if they have it taped up or what the story is here. Or is that flap controlled inside the wing? Now that servo does not have a connector on it, so we'll have to see what that is. I'm not sure how that works. We'll look at the instructions. But this flap works. On the AC-1500, it was a similar situation, but you could either make the center flap section work with the flap and have full-length flap, whole wing flap and then an aileron, or you could connect this flap to the aileron and have almost full-length ailerons and a small flap. But it doesn't look like you have that option here. These are two separate incidents. They don't hook together. And Now, I can't get that open. I don't know why. We'll have to check into that. But other than that, yeah, I don't see any damage here. Nothing, you know, there's little minor stuff. No big deal. Everything looks pretty good here. This all looks good. Motors are free. So, yeah, looks good. All right. We'll just set that right here and go on to the next piece. Now, there's some stuff over here. Here's the wing spar. I'm going to set that over here. Here's the other wing. Okay, so that little piece in the front's missing from this wing too. So apparently you don't get that. They'll give you the big plug, but you don't get the little one because there's not one in this bag either. So I have to assume that you know, you just don't get it. So all right, so it's not a even if I consider it an issue, it's not a big issue. I'm not going to send it back for that. More than likely, whatever hangs there, I'm going to put on it anyway. If it's in the bag or in the box here, I'm going to put it on. So I'm going to cover that up anyway, but we'll see. All right. And one more thing, guys. So everything on here is a plug-in. There's a beautiful plug on the end here. Well, let me give you a close-up of that. I can. Whoop, hang on. So if you look right here, there's two plugs on the end of the wing there that plugs everything in. The motors, the ailerons, the flaps, the lights are all plugged in here with plugs. When you go to, and I'll give you a little tip, guys. Put a little Vaseline on these plugs before you plug them in. They'll go in and out much easier, especially if you have to remove this wing to put it in your car. Then you're going to definitely want to put some Vaseline on those plugs so that they plug in and out easily. Otherwise, it's a fight. You don't want to, believe me, you don't want to fight it. Just put some Vaseline on that, and you're golden. So that's the plug, and this is that little piece I'm talking about. It's right here. Okay, if you look at the leading edge, right above the S, you see that little there's a magnet inside a little relief in the foam, and then behind it on the S, there's a half football shaped long half football that's right on the S, and that piece is removable. And then whatever hangs in there by magnet is probably in the box. So we'll find that here shortly. But other than that, so they give you the plug for the big piece, but you don't get the plug for the little one in the front. Not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about that. That's not something, not something I would complain about. No big deal. Okay, so again, we got a landing light on this wing as well, right here, and then a nav light on the end. You can see it right there. And yeah, looks good. I'm going to switch the camera back. Yep, this flap works. Okay, the aileron is already, it's not hooked up, but yeah, the aileron's fine. And it's a center pivot aileron, guys. It's not a, it's not a foam hinge. It's a center pivot like the real thing. They're doing that more and more these days. I just love it. Really, really cool. So this inner flap's not opening either. I don't know why. It does look like that one is going to be controlled inside the. There's no control horn on the outside because it's going to be controlled from the inside. But I don't see, because there's a trough there going to it, and there's a connector in there that you're supposed to put your connector, the push rod in. But I can see it in there now, but it's not there, and it doesn't open. So maybe the instructions explain how to open that. I'm not going to do it yet because I don't want to tear it up. But there must be a reason for that. So we'll check into that later. But right now I'm just looking for damage. Okay, so we only have decals on the outer nacelles, none on this. So I guess that's just the way it comes. There wasn't one wing was defective. They're fine. Motors are spinning fine. Yep, everything looks good. I don't see any damage. A lot of detail, guys. There's panel lines all over this thing, up on top here, and there's an access panel here, an oval access panel there. You know, all the details on here. A lot of panel lines. Really looks nice. Decals are perfect. No bubbling in the decal at all. It's perfect. So really nice job. They do really nice work. That's really good looking. Let me flip this over. And we'll put this wing upside down. So you've got top to top. So nothing sharp is hanging down to damage either wing. They're both just smooth foam, and just set them right on top of each other right there. All right. All right, let's get rid of this back. Okay, what's next? So here's some foam. We'll throw that over there. More foam. That's why I say, guys, the packing nowadays is unbelievable. They pack this stuff. This is that squishy foam. That, you know, it's impossible. Really, it's impossible for it to get damaged unless whoever's putting it in the box damages it. Because it's not going to get damaged in transit unless the box gets crushed. There's just too much packing in here. They just do such a great job. All right, so let me. Here's the vertical stabilizer rudder assembly. Here's the horizontal, which is done beautifully. I love the orange and white Coast Guard stuff. Really nice. All the Coast Guard decals are already installed. There's no decals to put on. It's all done. Everything, all the emblems, everything, they're all on it. So there's nothing, no decals installed. Here's a couple of foam bits. So it looks like here's what these are, and that's what they are. They're drop tanks that go on the wing, and they're magnetic. So that's what's going to go in these spots that they have those plugs in. I usually don't fly with any kind of ordnance, but I might use these. You know, this I might actually use those. They look pretty cool. So I might actually fly this one with these tanks on it. So you have two tanks that go on the wings. What do we got here? This is, wow. So there's a couple of steel rods that are very heavy. I'm not sure what those are for. I think there's an extra nose cone here, a rubber tip nose cone. I can't tell right now. Yeah, there's already a foam one there, and this one I think you just put over the foam one to protect the foam. And it's probably optional. You can put it on if you want or not. And then there's a bunch of Velcro in here, and I don't know what the heck this is. I think these might be weights or something. I'm not sure if they're cosmetic or if they're functional, but all the control horns are in here. You know, not the control horns, but the control rods. All the horns are already installed. You just have to hook the control rods up. They're all in here. All ball joints. Sorry about the rain. You know, you're listening to the rain running on my roof. Sorry about that. Looks like there's some hinges in here. Not sure what those are for. But just all the hardware's in this one bag. So we'll set that right there. And that's it. The only thing left is the fuselage. So there's one more piece of foam in here holding that in place. We'll get into that. And then I'll pull this out. Alright, let me get the box off the table. I just covered up part of my work. So let me go move that real quick. And it's starting to rain harder. So it's noisier. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I love the most about this airplane, guys. Because, like I said, I know the plane because I already have the cargo version. After getting the cargo version, I had to buy the Coast Guard. Full set of retracts. So if you've got an EC 1500, you probably say, God, I wish this thing had retracts. This has retracts. And they work awesome. It's unbelievable how beautiful. So in the nose, just like the real thing. And let me switch cameras again. Okay, so right here, this door here comes down and slides back, just like the real thing. So it comes out of the bottom of the fuselage right here, it slides back, and then the other one, the gear comes out, and this door here goes forward with the gear. And it's the coolest looking thing when it works. And then the main fuselage, here are the gear doors. This big door here that rolls around, it starts up here on the side and rolls down around the bottom. And these doors open this way, and the main gear come out. And it's a it's a four-wheel truck system. There's two on this side, two on the other side. They come down out of the fuselage, and once you take off and suck the gear up, it cleans up, and it's so beautiful in the air with the retract. So I love this airplane. Absolutely love this. It flies fantastic. It looks fantastic. And it's got a cargo door in the back, just like the EC 1500 if you have one of those. So you've got the cargo door in the back that opens, full retracts, and it's got a side cargo door over here. And this side door, switch back, let me switch the camera back. This side door is how you get into the battery bay. Okay? So this door comes open. I don't know what's going on here. It's not letting me open it for some reason. Huh. I don't want to break it. It doesn't want to come off for some reason. Okay. It's just held on with magnets, but the whole side of the airplane opens up. All right, I'm gonna show you. Let me switch camera again. So here's your battery bay. Okay, it's upside down. There's your battery tray there, and the whole side of the airplane opens up to put your battery inside and your receiver. And then when this is on, you cannot tell that it even opens. This is so well made, guys, that with that closed, you can't see where the door was. It disappears completely. It fits that good, that it just completely disappears. If you were looking at it, you would not think that door opens. I'm telling you. You would look at this and go, and then you'd be asking the guy, whoever owns it, hey, how do you put a battery in this thing? I don't see a battery hatch. Yeah, because you can't see it. It's that good. It really is that good. It's beautiful. So that's a close-up of it, guys. And you literally, there's a ridge here where the top of the door is, but the ridge goes all the way down to the wing. You know, so it just follows that ridge all the way to the wing. So, you know, you'd say, well, that looks like the door there. Yeah, but it goes all the way to the wing. So, you know, you can see that ridge goes all the way to the wing. So they really hit it well. They did a nice job. Just a really great airplane, guys. I love this thing. So there's a couple of minor, very, very minor, like finger impressions. Like somebody maybe squished it a little bit. You know, they grabbed it a little too hard, maybe. And no big deal. You can see the noses. It doesn't need that rubber cone on it, but it's there if you want to use it. If you want to protect the nose, you can put that little rubber cone right over it. But it doesn't have to have it, doesn't need it. The nose is perfect just the way it is. And here's the cargo door, right there. So that opens. Lights all over the thing. There's a, I believe that's a light right there behind the, or is that the screw? No, that's a screw hole. But there's, I think there's a light on the top of the rudder maybe. Let me look. There's a light right here on the top. Right there, that's a light right there. And I think there's a light on the landing gear, if I remember right. When the nose gear comes down, there's a landing light on the nose gear. I thought there was a light on the back of the airplane. Yeah, there is. That's right. So the elevator assembly is the tail of the airplane and the elevator. Let me get this out of the bag. Let's switch cameras. So there's a tail light on it. All right. So when you get the tail, and mine's bent a little bit. Just need a little straightening, no big deal. Just get a little tweak. Okay. So there's a landing light, or not a nav light, a position light, I guess they call it, on the tail right here. I'll go back to the camera again. So right there, right on the tip here in the middle. Right there. That's a light right there, white light there. Dual rudders, dual servos for the elevators right here. So I've got a servo on each side. Again, these are submerged hinges. They're not foam hinges. They're submerged hinges. Now, we've got a problem with this one. This one's working nice and fine, but this one's not moving. Okay, there it goes. So there might have been a little bit of glue on it, but it broke free, so it's okay now. Yeah. Always work your control surfaces, guys. Whether they're foam or not, just make sure they're nice and free, so this, you don't put that load on the servo. You don't want to force the servo to have to, move that, and work it in. Work it in first, so that the servo doesn't have to work so hard. Because it's just hard on the servo, you just burn a servo up. So there's a bunch of connections back here you have to, and they're numbered. I got a 4 and a 2 and a 2, and what's this one say? Nothing. But they're all pre-plugged in. So it's got the same kind of plug. I'll change camera again. There's one plug there at the back, okay? So everything plugs into that. There is an extra wire here, and I know what that's for. There is a light in this rudder somewhere. Or no, it's for the servo. Okay. So there's one plug here marked 4, and that's to plug the rudder servo into here. And then this whole assembly plugs into the back of the airplane with just the single plug. And then you've got this one for the rudder when you install the vertical stab on here. So I don't see any damage here. Again, all the details here. We've got panel lines. We've got, the decals are perfect. No, I don't see any issues with the decals. Now that one broke free, these are working perfect. All the tapes look good. Like I said, the light was bent slightly crooked, but I straightened it. No big deal there. And I might play with it just a little more to see if I can get it. It's not sitting all the way into the little relief, but no big deal. I ain't gonna worry about that. All right, let's get the rudder out. Okay, so same thing. It's a submerged factory, real hinge, a center submerged hinge, not a foam hinge, guys. This is a real submerged pivoting hinge. Very nice. Okay, and this, part of this goes on here and part of it goes on the fuselage. So you have to install it like this. But you have to put this on the fuselage first, the horizontal, and then the rudder, the vertical and the rudder plug in, and you put a screw through the fuselage here and a screw through the tail here to hold the rudder on. And that's it. I don't see any damage here. Everything looks good. Decals are perfect. This is also 50 years. This is the 50th anniversary Coast Guard emblem on the tail, so that's awesome. You know, nothing on this side. Nice and smooth. This side's got the relief for the rudder right where my hand is. And but yeah, I don't see any damage. Everything looks good. Decals look good. Just this is a perfect airplane, guys. From what I can see so far, it's perfect, beautiful, great job. I think these tanks are, I don't think they're left and right. You can put either one on either side, I think. I don't see where it's marked anywhere here, left or right. Yeah, there's no markings on it. So let me show you how that goes on. Let me use, I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to remove this little plug right here. Okay, so let me I'll do the close-up here. Let me change cameras. So right here, this little plug comes out. So you have the choice of leaving it in, put a little piece of tape on it, or dab a foam tack, something, if you want to use it and leave it in. But if you're gonna install these and you want to leave it out, and then even if you're not going to fly with these, if you don't secure this in, I can promise you it'll blow out of the wing and you'll lose it. So don't ever fly with this in unless you've glued it, taped it, glued it, secured it somehow. Because if you just fly it with it just sitting in there, it's going to blow out. Ask me how I know. So this will go in place here like this, and there you are. It's on with a magnet. I can almost hold. Yeah, I can hold the wing up. So that's how good the magnets are. I can actually, and this is a pretty heavy wing. I mean, it's got dual motors, dual ESCs, you know, dual flap servos and an aileron servo. So we got 3 servos, 2 motors, 2 ESCs, a bunch of hinges, and so it's a pretty substantial wing, and the magnets are holding. So it sticks pretty good. So there you have it. The only thing left, okay, so I stand corrected. Those little tiny plugs in the front that I said they didn't give you, they're in this bag here. So there's a little bag with these foam bits in it, and I don't honestly know where these go. This is painted gray, so I'm assuming that it is some kind of radar dome or something, I don't know. I have no idea what these are. They were in my other one too, and I never put them on because I don't know what they are. So this time I'm going to find out. So watch my build video, and we'll find out what these are, because I don't know what these are. So there's 2 of those. So they're left and right too. So they obviously go on the wing somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't know what these are. Well, that's not accurate. They could go on the fuselage, but there's a left and a right. They're not the same. They're mirror images, so they go on the sides of something. And then here are those 2 little. Here are the 2 little full pieces that go in the front here. If you're not going to put the tank on, you can put these tiny little fillers. Maybe those are left and right. I mean, look. That one didn't want to go in. So yeah, so they do give you the, if you're not going to fly with the tanks, they do give you the little tiny piece to fill in there. So that's cool. They were in this bag. I'll have to look at the instructions. We'll discuss this in the build video. I don't know what this does, where it goes, and I had these on my. This wasn't on the cargo plane, and neither were these. Okay. If there were reliefs in the wing for these, I think they had the plugs glued in because I didn't notice they came out or anything. And I doubt that they would put a magnet in there. You know how they are about every penny. So I can't see them gluing magnets into a wing that they're never going to use. So they're probably not. There probably aren't any in that wing, but they're in this one. And so I may just go ahead and use these. Let me get this one out. Make sure there's no damage. I can tell you already, I love this one way more than the cargo version. This is way prettier than the cargo version. The decaling looks better. I love the scheme, the Coast Guard scheme. I love these drop tanks that were not in the other one. And then these, I didn't get these little bits the last time, these tiny little for the front, because they're not on that plane. Or they're already glued in. I didn't notice it though, so I don't know. But I did get these, and I don't know where they go. So we'll check that on the build, and we'll find out where these go. Those and these. So, all right. So that's going to do it for the unboxing, guys. Comments at the bottom. Like, subscribe. If you have any questions about the plane, just go ahead and ask in the comments. But more than likely, anything you might want to ask, I'm probably going to cover in the build video. So maybe you want to wait for that, but you don't have to. But stick around for the build video. It should be out shortly after this. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next review. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.